Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we will be entering chapter 4, which is on forces. In this chapter you will have several subtopics. Don't remember how many. I think there's 2. Is it 2? Let me check. Yes, there's only 2 subtopics in this chapter, and this will be the chapter where you will be having tasks, UPS tasks from chapter 1 until 4. This is the final chapter untuk UPS 1 lah. Right? So the first subtopic is basic of forces and free body diagram. So in this subtopic, you need to be able to identify the forces that acts on the body in different situations. So these 5 forces are the forces that you need to be able to identify when you come across a body that is experiencing the several types of forces lah. So you have to identify the other weight ka, the tension, does it have normal force, friction, or any external force. Okay, after identifying, you should be able to sketch the free body diagram lah. And then you should also be able to determine the static and kinetic friction. Okay, so I've edited the one that I will be giving to you, the notes, which is this one shouldn't have the underscore actually. It should be FS macam tu. Okay. Alright, so now let's look at the types of forces. The first force is force itself lah. Okay, so force is a push or a pull. It has a unit of Newton. Okay, so the SI unit for force is Newton. And then we know that an object can only move if there is a force acting on it. Okay, so if kamu tidak kena tolak, imagine if you are standing here, and then if someone didn't push you, you won't be moving, right? But if someone push you, sampai di situ terjatuh, terbalik lah kamu. Macam itulah. Okay, so there's force, then you will be able to move. And then it is a vector. So when I said it is a vector, it would always have magnitude and direction. Okay, so this is a spring scale used to measure force. Okay, right, so now you have to also have weight. Okay, the second force is weight. It is the gravity's pull on an object. Okay, so it will always pointing down. Kalau kamu nampak begini, jangan kamu pilukis weight macam ni. No, weight always points down. So gini, dia still lagi pergi bawah. Okay, so that's very important because I see that a lot in my during my last batch punya student. And then we have normal force. Normal force is the one where it shows that the surface pushes back. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we draw that? It is always 90 degree to the surface. Okay, 90 degree. The arrow is out from the surface and 90 degree to the surface. So if ada inclined plane begini, still dia punya normal force is 90 degree. Okay, it's not like this. No, this is not 90 degree. Okay. And then we have frictional force, which is a force that resists the motion along the surface. Okay, so it's this one here. Okay, so this is our frictional force. If the object is moving to the right, the frictional force will be going against the motion, so it would be going to the left. Okay, and then lastly we would have tension force if there's a rope or a cable lah. Okay, the force is then transmitted through this rope or through this cable. Okay, so this arrow is tension. Okay, so it is away from the object along the rope. Okay, and then okay, this one is examples. So this one is frictional force. So again, we know that frictional force is a force that resists the motion of one surface to another when it is in contact. Okay, so let me draw that. So if we have this, and then we have a table, something like this, and then if the object is moving to the right, the frictional force will be moving to the left. Okay, so this is our frictional force. I would sometimes just write F like this. Just write F lah, small f macam tu. And then this is our external force. Contoh push or pull. This one obviously pull lah. Okay, so that is our frictional force. What's most important is it is always going opposite of the force. Okay, and then it is directly proportional to the reaction force. So mathematically we can actually calculate the frictional force by using this equation. Okay, so mu here, coefficient of friction, is usually given, or sometimes it will ask you to find it. And then n is the reaction force, which is the one that is 90 degrees to the surface. Okay, now coefficient of friction, it is defined as the ratio between frictional force to the reaction force. Okay, or mathematically it is mu equal to F over N. So basically this one they rearranged in terms of mu. Okay, so this is without unit, it doesn't have unit, and it always depends on the nature of the surfaces. And we have three types of frictional force, but we are only looking at the static and kinetic friction. So static friction is when the object is only on the surface, it's not moving yet, but it still has a static friction. Static because it does not move. Kinetic is when it starts to move lah. Okay, so that is the theory in subtopic 4.1. We will go to the examples in the next video.